And somebody gave me these tubes years and years ago, and I made wind chimes out of them. But I was having so much problem with this thing, so I took my wind chime apart and used them, and then I just made one other tube just so on the hour. It just sounds kind of funky. That's what I sound like. The tubes are still good, even though they were hanging outdoors for must be 10 years, I bet you. That's the hour. That's just an odd tube that I made to make it work. So
how old is that one?
You know, wind gears. I have no idea. I'd have to look that up.
But is that indicative of an older clock?
Well, it's indicative of the time when the United States was having problems with the British, because most of our brass used to come from Britain, or from England, I should say. And when they had during the war, they said to hell with them, and they started making them out of wood.
Huh.
Yeah, this is made out of wood, and I've got another one in there. I've got a grandfather clock of my own. I don't like woodworks, but I've got a grandfather clock of my own that's quite valuable, but I haven't even repaired it yet because I don't like them. This thing was.
So how long does it take you? We have 3 in front of you here that you've worked on. How many hours do you have into this?
They varied. Something like that wasn't that long, but these hours to take apart and put back together.
It sounds so intricate. That.
Well, yeah.
How do you keep track of it all?
Everything has. See all the trip levers, and this is what makes these so difficult to deal with, because you have so many damn trip levers. The newer clocks. This is another one. It's an old movement. This has got all kinds of weird trip levers, but the new clocks. Well, I can show you one. This is newer. Let's see. Is there an open one here? No. This is a newer clock also.
When you say newer, how?
This is probably only 20 or 30 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you've got several pairs of glasses here. Is this?
They're all different. They're all different.
For what you're working.
Depending on what I'm working on. Yeah. When I'm working in here, my glasses, I have 2 that I wear on top of each other. They're both $350 a piece, so when they get them together, they're $700. This belongs to that mission old grandfather clock upstairs. I'm not sure how long the pendulum is. The guy gave me a long stick because the pendulum was missing, so I'm trying to make it so it's actually keeping time and still running too slow. So I'm gonna have to cut that down a little bit more. So I've already cut off this much off of it, and it's still running too slow.
So that size is obviously the weight. It's the speed of the
pendulum and the escapement and all the gears. They have to mount to so many numbers. You have to. I don't remember how what the formula is, but anyways, depending on how many teeth you can have in the escapement with. If you have very little teeth, you have more pendulum. If the more teeth you have, less pendulum you need.
Now I have I have to ask this question because next week this weekend we turn the clocks back. How long will that take you? Do you be turning all your clocks back?
No, I don't keep that many of my own running. Most of the time I'm so busy fool-farting around with everybody else's clock that I don't fool with mine. But anyways, this is quite a clock.
Wow.
Somebody painted this 3 times.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
That is really beautiful.
Yeah. This is another one with wooden works. The plates are made out of the wood. Somebody decided, this is what they call a wag on the wall, but somebody decided to put it inside of a grandfather clock.
Where would it have been originally? How would it be presented?
Well, it just hung on the wall, just the way you see it.
Okay, so the pendulums would be open to...
The weights and pendulum, yeah, and look at that pendulum, it's got all kinds of writing on it. I don't know if you can see that. Look at all the writing on it.
Let me just get a closer view here. Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, I have a customer in Sugar. Well, when I got a computer, I went crazy. And I made these tubes, and I cut them all the same length, and this is what it sounds like. Hard to believe that's conduit pipe, ain't it?
Wow.
This is Westminster chime. Now, if I turn this like this, now she'll have a Canterbury.